My name is John Edwards, and I'm a 45-year-old financial analyst living in Austin, Texas. My wife Mary and I met 16 years ago at a charity gala in Dallas. I still remember the first moment I saw her, standing by the bar, her dark hair cascading down her shoulders, a glass of wine in hand. Mary was a marketing executive, vibrant and full of life, and her energy drew me to her immediately. She was 33 then, 2 years younger than me, and we connected over our shared passion for philanthropy and travel. We started dating soon after, and quickly became inseparable. We spent our weekends exploring the hill country, visiting wineries, and taking spontaneous road trips to nearby cities. Life felt like an adventure, and 3 years later, we decided to get married. Our wedding was a grand affair, held at a historic mansion in Austin, surrounded by family and friends. I remember feeling an overwhelming sense of joy and anticipation for the future we were about to build together. Our careers were flourishing. I was climbing the corporate ladder at a major investment firm, while Mary was making a name for herself in the marketing world. We were both driven and ambitious, and our busy schedules often kept us apart. But we always made an effort to spend quality time together. We bought a beautiful house in the Barton Creek neighborhood, a place that felt like our sanctuary. Life was hectic, but we were happy and deeply in love. About a year ago, I started noticing subtle changes in Mary's behavior. It began with minor things, her staying late at work more frequently, her being more secretive with her phone, and an increase in business trips. Initially, I dismissed these changes as the demands of her growing career. However, as time went on, these behaviors became more pronounced and harder to ignore. One evening, Mary came home later than usual, claiming she had a late meeting with a new client. She seemed distracted and aloof, and when I asked her about her day, she gave vague answers and quickly changed the topic. This wasn't the Mary I knew. My gut feeling told me something was off, but I didn't want to jump to conclusions without evidence. Then there were the text messages. I would occasionally see her phone light up with messages from someone named Tom. When I asked who Tom was, she told me he was a new colleague she was collaborating with on a big project. I wanted to believe her, but a seed of doubt had been planted. The turning point came one weekend, when Mary went on a supposed business trip to Houston. She left her work laptop at home, something she never did. My curiosity got the better of me, and I decided to check her emails. What I found made my heart sink. There were numerous emails from Tom, and their tone was far too personal for a professional relationship. They talked about their feelings, shared inside jokes, and even mentioned plans to meet up. I needed more proof before confronting Mary. I began looking through our phone records and noticed an alarming number of calls and texts to Tom, especially late at night and during weekends. This wasn't just a work relationship. Determined to uncover the truth, I took a day off work without telling Mary and decided to follow her. My heart pounded as I tailed her car through the streets of Austin. She didn't go to her office. Instead, she drove to a quaint cafe downtown. I parked at a distance and watched as she met Tom, a tall man with a charming smile. They greeted each other with a hug that lasted a bit too long. My mind raced with 1,000 thoughts, but I knew I needed more concrete evidence. I hired a private investigator to follow Mary and document her interactions with Tom. It felt like an extreme measure, but I couldn't live with the uncertainty any longer. The investigator was discreet and professional. Within a week, he provided me with photos and detailed reports of Mary and Tom's meetings. Dear viewers, more than 90% watch my content without subscribing. If you still have not subscribed, then I ask you to do so. For me, this is the best motivation to continue. They weren't just having lunches, they were spending weekends together, staying at hotels, and even taking trips. I confronted Mary one evening after she returned from another business trip. I laid the photos and reports on the dining table and asked her to explain. Her face turned pale, and she couldn't meet my eyes. After a long silence, she admitted to the affair. She tried to justify it by saying she felt neglected and unappreciated in our marriage, that Tom made her feel special in a way she hadn't felt in years. Hearing those words was like a dagger to the heart. I felt a mix of anger, sadness, and betrayal. But I knew that yelling or arguing wouldn't change what had happened. I needed to think clearly about my next steps. I took a few days off work to process everything. I reached out to my old college friend Mike, who had gone through a divorce a few years earlier. Mike was a great listener and offered practical advice. He recommended a reputable divorce attorney and advised me to gather all necessary financial documents. Mary and I had a long conversation about our future. She expressed remorse and asked for forgiveness, but I knew I couldn't just overlook her betrayal. The trust between us had been shattered, and I couldn't see a way to rebuild it. We agreed to a trial separation to give ourselves space to think about what we really wanted. The trial separation made it clear that there was no going back. The trust and intimacy we once shared were gone. I filed for divorce, and Mary didn't contest it. We agreed to an amicable split of our assets, and the process went relatively smoothly. The hardest part was explaining everything to our friends and family. Most were shocked, as we had always seemed like the perfect couple. The divorce was finalized a few months later. We sold our house in Barton Creek, and I moved into a smaller apartment downtown. Mary found a place of her own, and we went our separate ways. It was a painful and lonely time, but I knew it was the right decision. After the divorce, I threw myself into my work to distract myself from the pain, but I knew I needed more than just work to heal. I started seeing a therapist to help me process my emotions and rebuild my life. The therapist helped me understand that Mary's infidelity was not my fault, and that I needed to focus on my own well-being. I also joined a support group for people going through divorce. Sharing my story with others who had experienced similar situations was incredibly cathartic. I made new friends who provided a sense of community and understanding. I started to feel hopeful about the future again. It's been a year since the divorce, and I'm finally starting to feel like myself again. I've taken up new hobbies, like cooking and cycling, and I've reconnected with old friends. I've even started dating again, though I'm taking things slow. Trusting someone new is a challenge, but I'm learning to open up again. Looking back, I realized that Mary's infidelity was a turning point in my life. It forced me to reevaluate my priorities and focus on my own happiness. I've learned a lot about myself and what I want from a relationship. While the pain of betrayal still lingers, I'm determined to move forward and create a new chapter in my life. Reflecting on my marriage with Mary, I see now that there were warning signs I chose to ignore. We'd grown apart over the years, caught up in our own careers and personal ambitions. The love and connection we once had were slowly eroded by neglect and complacency. It's easy to see these things in hindsight, but at the time I was blind to the gradual decline of our relationship. I've come to terms with the fact that our marriage was not meant to last. People change, and sometimes they grow apart. While I will always cherish the good times we had, I know that holding on to the past will only prevent me from moving forward. I've forgiven Mary, not for her sake, but for mine. Holding on to anger and resentment will only keep me trapped in a cycle of pain. As I stand on the brink of a new chapter in my life, I feel a sense of hope and possibility. The experience of going through a divorce has made me stronger and more resilient. I've learned to prioritize my own needs and to seek out relationships that are built on mutual respect and trust. I'm excited about the future and the opportunities it holds. I've started volunteering at a local community center, helping underprivileged kids learn about financial literacy. It's a way for me to give back and to share my passion for finance with the next generation. I've also started exploring the idea of starting my own consulting business, something I've always dreamed of but never had the courage to pursue. Life after divorce is not easy, but it's a journey of self-discovery and growth. I'm grateful for the lessons I've learned and the person I've become. And while the pain of betrayal will always be a part of my story, it no longer defines me. I'm ready to embrace the future and whatever it may bring. The initial phase of my relationship with Mary was filled with joy and excitement. Our love seemed unbreakable, and we shared many dreams and aspirations. But as the years went by, the pressures of our demanding careers began to take a toll on our relationship. We were both so focused on achieving our professional goals that we started to neglect the emotional and physical connection that had brought us together in the first place. About 2 years ago, I noticed that Mary had become increasingly withdrawn and distant. She often seemed preoccupied and less interested in spending time with me. She started attending more work-related events and frequently stayed out late, citing work commitments. I wanted to believe that these were genuine professional obligations, but a nagging feeling of doubt began to grow inside me. One day, while Mary was away on one of her business trips, I decided to clean up the house. As I was tidying up her home office, I came across a small box hidden behind some books on her shelf. Inside the box, I found a collection of receipts from expensive restaurants and hotels, all from cities she claimed to have visited for work. The dates on the receipts matched the time she had told me she was out of town. My mind raced with questions. Why was she hiding these receipts? Why hadn't she mentioned any of these places to me? I felt a knot in my stomach, but I pushed the thoughts aside, convincing myself that I was being paranoid. However, the seed of doubt had been planted, and it continued to grow. A few months later, Mary mentioned she had to attend a weekend conference in Denver. I decided to use the opportunity to surprise her by joining her there. I booked a flight and a hotel room, planning to show up at her conference and take her out for a romantic dinner. But when I arrived at the conference venue, Mary was nowhere to be found. I called her, and she answered, sounding surprised and a bit panicked. She told me she was in a meeting and couldn't talk, but something in her voice seemed off. I decided to wait for her outside the conference center. After a couple of hours, I saw her walking out, arm in arm with a man I had never seen before. Dear viewers, I ask you to subscribe to the channel under this video. I will be very grateful to you. They were laughing and looked very much like a couple. I approached them, my heart pounding. When Mary saw me, her face turned white. The man, who introduced himself as Tom, seemed just as startled. I asked Mary to explain what was going on, and she fumbled for words, finally claiming that Tom was just a colleague and that they had been discussing work. I wanted to believe her, but the evidence was too damning. I confronted her about the receipts and the numerous late nights. She tried to reassure me, but her explanations were full of holes. The trust I had in her was eroding fast, and I knew deep down that something was very wrong. The real turning point came when I discovered an email exchange between Mary and Tom on our home computer. She had left her email open, and I couldn't help but notice the subject line of one of the emails. Our weekend together. My hands trembled as I opened the email and read through their conversations. They spoke about their feelings for each other, their secret meetings, and their plans to spend more time together. I felt a mix of anger, betrayal, and heartbreak. Mary had been lying to me for months, possibly even years. The woman I thought I knew and loved had been deceiving me all along. I decided that I needed to take decisive action. This couldn't continue any longer. I spent the next few days gathering all the evidence I could find. I printed out the emails, gathered the receipts, and took notes on all the suspicious activities. I knew that I needed to confront Mary with undeniable proof. It wasn't just about catching her in a lie. It was about getting the truth and understanding why this had happened. I reached out to my friend Sarah, who was a lawyer. She advised me on the legal aspects of what I was about to do and recommended a good divorce attorney. I wasn't sure if I was ready for divorce, but I knew that I needed to prepare for all possible outcomes. One evening, after Mary returned from work, I asked her to sit down for a serious conversation. I laid out all the evidence in front of her, the emails, the receipts, the phone records. She stared at the table, her face devoid of color. There was no denying it now. Mary broke down in tears and confessed everything. She admitted to the affair with Tom, saying that it had started about a year ago. She tried to explain that she had felt neglected and lonely, that Tom had made her feel alive and appreciated, but her words felt like hollow excuses to me. The days following the confrontation were some of the hardest of my life. Mary and I had numerous emotional conversations, and while she expressed deep remorse and begged for forgiveness, I knew that the damage was too severe. The trust that formed the foundation of our relationship had been shattered, and I couldn't see a way to rebuild it. I made the painful decision to file for divorce. It was not an easy choice, but I knew it was the right one for my own well-being. Mary didn't contest the divorce. We agreed to an amicable division of our assets and went through the legal process as smoothly as possible under the circumstances. While we had agreed to an amicable split, the legal process was still challenging. We had to disentangle our lives, dividing our assets and figuring out what to do with the house we had shared. Our lawyers handled most of the negotiations, but there were still moments of tension and disagreement. The hardest part was dealing with the emotional fallout. Every meeting with the lawyers, every discussion about our assets, felt like reopening the wound. I tried to stay focused on the future, but it was difficult to let go of the past and the life we had built together. Once the divorce was finalized, I moved out of our house and into a small apartment downtown. It was a drastic change from the spacious home we had shared, but it felt like a fresh start. I focused on creating a new routine for myself, one that didn't revolve around Mary. I threw myself into my work and started taking on more responsibilities at the firm. I also began seeing a therapist to help me navigate the emotional turbulence. The therapist was instrumental in helping me process my feelings of betrayal and loss. She helped me understand that while Mary's actions had hurt me deeply, I needed to focus on my own healing and growth. In the months following the divorce, I started to rediscover myself. I took up running and joined a local running club. The physical activity was a great way to clear my mind and relieve stress. I also reconnected with old friends and made an effort to expand my social circle. One of the most significant changes was my decision to volunteer at a local financial literacy program. Teaching others about managing their finances not only gave me a sense of purpose, but also helped me regain my confidence. It was fulfilling to see the impact I could make on others' lives. As time went on, I started to feel more comfortable with the idea of dating again. I joined a few online dating sites and went on several dates. It was a strange and sometimes awkward experience, but it also helped me learn more about what I wanted in a relationship. I met a woman named Lisa through a mutual friend. She was kind, intelligent, and had a great sense of humor. We started seeing each other casually, and while I was cautious about jumping into a new relationship too quickly, I found myself genuinely enjoying her company. Lisa understood my past and was patient with me as I navigated my feelings. Looking back on my journey, I see how far I've come since discovering Mary's infidelity. The pain of betrayal was immense, but it forced me to reevaluate my life and priorities. I've learned to value my own happiness and well-being above all else. I've also come to understand that people change, and sometimes relationships don't last. It's a part of life. The key is to learn from these experiences and use them to grow and become a better person. I no longer hold any resentment towards Mary. I've forgiven her, not for her sake, but for mine. Holding on to anger and bitterness would only prevent me from moving forward. As I continue to rebuild my life, I've found a new sense of purpose. Volunteering and helping others have become a central part of my life. I've also started working on a book about financial literacy, hoping to reach a wider audience and make a more significant impact. I've realized that my journey is far from over. There will always be challenges and setbacks, but I'm stronger and more resilient now. I'm excited about the future and the opportunities it holds. I've learned that while the pain of betrayal will always be a part of my story, it doesn't define me. I'm ready to embrace whatever comes next. As I stand on the threshold of this new chapter in my life, I feel a sense of optimism and excitement. The experience of going through a divorce has taught me invaluable lessons about resilience, self-care, and the importance of genuine connections. I've learned to prioritize my own needs and to seek out relationships that are built on mutual respect and trust. I'm excited about the future and the possibilities it holds. I've started exploring new hobbies and interests, such as photography and cooking, which bring me joy and fulfillment. I've also continued to nurture my relationship with Lisa, taking things one day at a time and enjoying the journey together. Life after divorce is not easy, but it's a journey of self-discovery and growth. I'm grateful for the lessons I've learned and the person I've become. The pain of betrayal no longer defines me. It has shaped me into a stronger, more resilient individual. I'm ready to embrace the future with an open heart and an open mind. The road ahead is filled with uncertainty, but it's also filled with endless possibilities. I'm looking forward to the adventures that await and the new experiences that will shape my journey. With each step I take, I'm moving forward, leaving the past behind and embracing a future filled with hope, love, and happiness. As I continue to navigate this new phase of my life, I'm constantly reminded of the importance of personal growth and self-reflection. Each day presents an opportunity to learn and evolve, and I'm committed to making the most of these opportunities. I've started attending personal development workshops and seminars, eager to expand my knowledge and skills. These experiences have been incredibly enriching, allowing me to connect with like-minded individuals and gain new perspectives. They've also reinforced the importance of maintaining a positive mindset and staying open to change. Building new relationships has been both challenging and rewarding. I've learned to approach new connections with an open heart, while also being mindful of the lessons from my past. Trust is something that needs to be rebuilt slowly, and I'm taking my time to ensure that any new relationships are founded on honesty and mutual respect. Lisa has been a significant part of this journey. Our relationship continues to grow stronger, and I'm grateful for her understanding and support. She's helped me see that it's possible to love again, even after experiencing profound betrayal. We've shared many memorable moments, and I look forward to creating more together. As I look ahead, I'm filled with a sense of hope and excitement. The future is unwritten, and I'm eager to see where it takes me. I've set new goals for myself, both personally and professionally, and I'm determined to achieve them. One of my long-term goals is to start my own financial consulting firm. It's a dream I've had for years, and I'm finally in a place where I feel ready to pursue it. I want to use my expertise to help others achieve financial stability and success. It's a way for me to give back and make a positive impact on the world. Change is a constant in life, and I've learned to embrace it rather than fear it. The experience of going through a divorce has taught me that even the most challenging situations can lead to growth and new opportunities. I'm no longer afraid of the unknown. Instead, I see it as an adventure waiting to unfold. I've come to appreciate the beauty of starting over. It's a chance to redefine myself and create a life that aligns with my values and aspirations. I'm grateful for the journey I've been on, and I'm excited about the path ahead. The journey of healing and growth is ongoing. There will always be new challenges to face and new lessons to learn, but I'm confident in my ability to navigate whatever comes my way. I've built a strong foundation for myself, and I'm ready to continue building on it. I've also learned the importance of self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on myself for the mistakes I've made or the pain I've experienced, but I've realized that being kind to myself is essential for my well-being. I'm not perfect, and that's okay. What matters is that I'm doing my best and continuing to move forward. Finding balance in life is crucial. I've learned to prioritize my physical, emotional, and mental well-being. This means making time for activities that bring me joy, spending time with loved ones, and taking care of my health. I've also started practicing mindfulness and meditation. These practices have helped me stay grounded and focused, allowing me to navigate life's ups and downs with greater ease. They've also taught me the importance of living in the present moment and appreciating the simple joys of life. As I embrace new opportunities, I'm reminded of the importance of staying open-minded and flexible. Life is full of surprises, and being willing to adapt and change is essential for personal growth and success. I've started exploring new career opportunities and taking on new challenges at work. These experiences have been incredibly fulfilling and have helped me grow both professionally and personally. I'm excited about the possibilities that lie ahead and eager to see where my journey takes me. Throughout this journey, I've come to appreciate the importance of community and support. The people around us play a crucial role in our lives, and I'm grateful for the friends, family, and support groups that have been there for me. I've made it a point to stay connected with my support network and to offer support to others in return. Building and maintaining these relationships has been incredibly rewarding and has helped me feel more grounded and connected. Learning is a lifelong process, and I'm committed to continuing my education and personal development. I've enrolled in several online courses and workshops, eager to expand my knowledge and skills. These learning experiences have been incredibly enriching and have helped me stay engaged and motivated. They've also opened up new opportunities for growth and development, both personally and professionally. As I reflect on my journey, I'm grateful for the lessons I've learned and the person I've become. The experience of going through a divorce was painful, but it has also been a catalyst for growth and self-discovery. I've learned the importance of resilience, self-care, and staying true to myself. I've also learned to appreciate the journey, with all its ups and downs. Every experience, no matter how challenging, has contributed to my growth and development. The future is bright, and I'm excited about the possibilities that lie ahead. I'm ready to embrace new opportunities, build new relationships, and continue my journey of growth and self-discovery. I'm grateful for the support and love I've received from my friends, family, and new connections. They've helped me navigate this challenging journey and have been a source of strength and inspiration. As I continue my journey, I'm committed to staying true to myself and prioritizing my well-being. I'm excited about the future and eager to see where it takes me. With each step I take, I'm moving forward, leaving the past behind, and embracing a future filled with hope, love, and happiness. Life will always present challenges, but I've learned to face them with courage and resilience. Each challenge is an opportunity for growth and learning, and I'm ready to embrace them with an open heart and mind. I'm grateful for the journey I've been on and the person I've become. I'm excited about the future and the endless possibilities it holds. With each new day, I'm moving forward, building a life that aligns with my values and aspirations. This is a new beginning for me, a chance to create a life filled with joy, love, and fulfillment. I'm ready to embrace the future with an open heart and an open mind, eager to see where my journey takes me. The pain of betrayal no longer defines me. It has shaped me into a stronger, more resilient individual. I'm ready to embrace the future and whatever it may bring. Throughout this journey, I've come to realize the importance of self-care. Taking care of my physical, emotional, and mental well-being has been crucial for my healing and growth. I've made it a priority to engage in activities that bring me joy and fulfillment. I've started practicing yoga and meditation, which have helped me stay grounded and focused. These practices have taught me the importance of being present and appreciating the simple pleasures in life. They've also helped me develop a greater sense of self-awareness and inner peace. Building a strong support network has been essential for my recovery. I've surrounded myself with people who uplift and support me, and I've made an effort to stay connected with them. Whether it's through regular meetups, phone calls, or online chats, maintaining these relationships has been incredibly important. I've also joined several support groups for people who have gone through similar experiences. Sharing my story and listening to others has been incredibly therapeutic. It's comforting to know that I'm not alone, and that there are others who understand what I'm going through. Exploring new interests and hobbies has been a significant part of my healing process. I've started taking cooking classes, something I've always wanted to do but never had the time for. Learning new recipes and techniques has been a lot of fun and has given me a sense of accomplishment. I've also taken up photography, capturing the beauty of the world around me. It's a creative outlet that allows me to express myself and see things from a different perspective. These new interests have brought a sense of joy and fulfillment to my life. Professionally, I've continued to grow and develop. I've taken on new challenges at work and have pursued additional training and certifications. These experiences have helped me build my confidence and have opened up new opportunities for advancement. I've also started mentoring junior colleagues, sharing my knowledge and experience with them. It's been incredibly rewarding to see them grow and succeed. Mentoring has also helped me reflect on my own journey and appreciate how far I've come. Setting new goals has been an essential part of my journey. Whether it's personal, professional, or financial, having goals gives me a sense of direction and purpose. I've learned to set realistic and achievable goals, and I've created a plan to work towards them. One of my long-term goals is to travel more and explore new places. I've started planning trips to destinations I've always wanted to visit. Traveling is a way for me to step out of my comfort zone and experience new cultures and perspectives. Celebrating my achievements, no matter how small, has been an important part of my healing process. Each milestone is a testament to my strength and resilience. I've learned to acknowledge and appreciate my progress, rather than focusing solely on the challenges. Whether it's completing a project at work, mastering a new recipe, or reaching a personal fitness goal, I make it a point to celebrate these moments. It's a way to remind myself of how far I've come and to stay motivated for the future. Forgiveness has played a crucial role in my healing journey. Holding on to anger and resentment would only hold me back. I've learned to forgive Mary, not for her sake, but for my own. Letting go of the pain and hurt has allowed me to move forward with a lighter heart. I've also learned to forgive myself for any mistakes or shortcomings. Self-compassion is essential for healing and growth. I'm not perfect, and that's okay. What matters is that I'm doing my best and continuing to move forward. Living in the present moment has been a significant lesson for me. It's easy to get caught up in the past or worry about the future, but I've learned the importance of appreciating the here and now. Each day is a new opportunity to create a fulfilling and meaningful life. Mindfulness practices, such as meditation and yoga, have helped me stay grounded and focused on the present. They've taught me to appreciate the simple joys of life and to approach each day with gratitude and positivity. As I look to the future, I'm filled with a sense of hope and excitement. I'm ready to embrace new opportunities, build new relationships, and continue my journey of growth and self-discovery. The pain of the past no longer defines me. It has shaped me into a stronger, more resilient individual. I'm grateful for the lessons I've learned and the person I've become. I'm excited about the future and eager to see where my journey takes me. With each step I take, I'm moving forward, leaving the past behind and embracing a future filled with hope, love, and happiness. This is a new beginning for me, a chance to create a life filled with joy, love, and fulfillment. I'm ready to embrace the future with an open heart and an open mind, eager to see where my journey takes me. The pain of betrayal no longer defines me. It has shaped me into a stronger, more resilient individual. I'm ready to embrace the future and whatever it may bring,